Hi guys, today I'm going to give you a variation on the pulling drill I showed you last week, and then I'm going to answer some questions Dustin had about body mechanics and stepping on some of the more challenging 1 through 6 transitions. So if you remember last time we talked about the Myers square and pulling various numbers. So you could go 1, pull number 2, hit 3 and 4, 1, 2, pull number 3, hit 4. What I want you to do is, if you're feeling comfortable with that drill, is I want you to add a thrust to the body when you pull. So instead of just 1 pull 3 4, it'll be 1 pull thrust 3 4. So I'm going to do this facing the camera. So I'm going to come 1 pull 2. So I'm starting my cut because this is a fake. I'm going to start my cut, pull back, thrust 3 4, 1 pull 2, thrust 3 4. So if I do that on the pedal, it'll look like this. So 1, 2, thrust, 3, 4. 1, 2, thrust, 3, 4. It's a little bit of a sword fake and a little bit of a body fake. So I'm going to project out. I'm going to turn my little wheel. I'm going to pull through. It's got to be a good cut, and then I'm going to yank it short, a little squat, and then I'm going to extend with the body and the sword. 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. I can do it 3, of course. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. So play with that. Clearly this is really going to be done on the single number pulling. You're probably not going to pull and thrust 2 and 3, for example. But this is good because a lot of fighters don't transition between cuts and thrusts particularly fluidly, or they just do one or the other. Some people can, cut to thrust really well, but they don't thrust into cuts very well, and often the opposite. You can thrust into cuts pretty well, but you don't cut into thrust. So play with that. It's a variation on the drill, gives you a lot to work on. The other thing is Dustin was asking particularly same side transition. So 1 3 5, 2 4 6. How do I have good body mechanics so that I'm cutting with power, and how do I step? So there's a bunch of variations. So if I'm coming, for example, 1, 2, 1 to 3, what can I do? Well, I can certainly roll and do a shuffle step to the side. Boom, no problem. From 1, I can pivot and throw a back edge to number 3. Okay, I can also, from 1, just turn through my A-frame and pivot into number 5. The other thing is sometimes I'll come 1 to 2, back edge to 1, roll down with the refusal step into 3. And then I can pop back up into 1. So there's lots of different variations. The important part is that you're using your body to drive the sword. With the offside cuts, it's the same thing. If I've come 2 and I need to now hit number 4, I can turn the little wheel and I can step and pivot out. That's fine. From here, I can actually step across the pedal. So I'm coming towards the right while I'm cutting on the left, because I know that from 2 to 4, okay, I can roll back up into the 2. There's lots of different things you can do. The hanging transition, so if I hit 2, hanging 4, it's a little harder. You can do it, but it definitely takes a more dramatic body turn. So as I'm thinking about examples, 1, 2, 1, here's my back edge, 3, 1, 4, 1, roll, 5, 1, 6, 2, 1, so now my back edge, 2, roll through my A-frame, 4, 2, 3, 2, 4 again, 2, 5, 2, and I could roll into 6, right? That kind of hanging transition. If those hanging transitions are tough, one thing that we can do is there's actually a more advanced version of that ladder drill that I've shown before. It's the same side. You essentially hit 1, 3, sorry, I actually hit 5 first, so 5, 3, 1. You can come over here, 6, 4, 2. I would do it statically at first. Eventually you can start putting in the footwork, but as you can see, if I'm doing this, it's a lot of body rotation. And then same thing on the side. Boom, boom, boom. It's actually a pretty good fake. One of the things I like to do is I'll pull up into the hanging guard, and everybody's expecting the big over kapow, and then you just take your hips and you turn the back. It's a very hard shot. Be careful with that one. In terms of the footwork, again, certainly 1, 2. If I hit 1, I can kick the foot straight back. It's pretty edgy. I can shuffle out. I can certainly pivot. I can again step opposite the cut. So if I've hit my 1 and I'm looking for number 3, I can step through. This is okay. And then come back over. So definitely play with it. The point of the 1 through 6 is learning different ways to get from one target to the next. What you don't want to do is get robotic and kind of resetty in between. So don't come 1, back to guard, 2, back to guard. That's not really the point. What I would actually practice, especially if you're finding some awkward transitions, stick your sword on the pelt. Boom. Keep it on the pelt. From contact, how can I get to 3, right? From contact, how do I get to 6? Same thing over here. If I'm on 2 and I'm really struggling with that 2 to 4 transition, put your sword on the number 2 target and think, how am I going to do it? Can I turn my little wheel and hit? Can I roll and hit? Can I step with a kind of a slide in that direction and hit? So put your sword on the target and practice various body mechanics until you figure out what you need to do with different kinds of steps to get the power generation that you like. If you have more questions, let me know, and if anybody else has questions, let me know and I'll try to answer them in the next little video I make.